Hey, yo, Vince McMahon, nobody likes you, nigga. You are a liability. Yo, shout out to Vince McMahon being a liability. I love that shit.
Yo, that wasn't a. I totally forgot to put that on there, but yeah, man, it was like let me look it up. But yeah, man, like he was apparently they're
TKO
labeling
said
him
that you are
as
a liability, people.
yeah.
Listen, we can't listen. We don't really talk about him like that. You know what I mean? He's like that uncle. You know what I'm saying? They got the cage in the back. You know what I'm saying that we slide the food underneath the door. Like he might be like he's the part of this other part, but we ain't got this other part. And listen,
Yo, it's like and it's wild, like all this stuff coming out, like they like TKO Endeavor, pretty much like they saw what Vince McMahon was doing. He was selling the company despite Stephanie and Triple H, and I'm not even gonna say Shane because I don't think Shane was ever gonna get the company, but like he did that despite his children and his son-in-law. And now that it's in the hands of TKO, and they're like, "Hey, man, look, we can't really trust you around here. You are a liability." They told them like a few weeks ago that they thought the stock numbers went down directly because of him. So they were like, "Hey, bro, look, we just gonna put you on ice." Like it's kind of crazy to watch it, like all of this like fall through. Because I honestly like, a lot of people thought like it was gonna be full steam ahead with him because like UFC when Dana White sold UFC to Endeavor, they were just like, "Hey, bro, like you can keep doing what you're doing."
Dude, Dana White didn't have a whole bunch of fucking. He didn't have 4 decades of fucking fuckery behind him. You know what I'm saying? He just said some questionable shit, and it was like, yo, everybody likes Dana White. You know what I'm saying? Dana White is just like, yo, he just speaks his mind. Like Vince McMahon was like, yo, if Vince McMahon would have came out with this bullshit back in '98 through 2003 when he was Mr. McMahon, the character, they probably just swept it under the rug like they do with Dana White shit. But it's just, I mean, everybody knew he was a liability for all the stuff that was going on and in general.
Yo,
but how do you?
G Nation, like you took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say that after CJ caught his breath for a second. But yeah, like yo, he's a liability. Dana White's not a liability for slapping his wife, like in full camera view. And
Dana,
like, they were just like
Dana White was the C side of that deal. Like Dana White's been the C side of the fucking of the UFC since 1999 when the Fertittas and them bought him. Like the Fertittas put that money in there. Like Dana White is the one nigga that put the the nigga that paid $100, but it's 101.13, and he put the 113 on there. But he was the one that gave the presentation of the fucking, like, he's the one that gets the presentation. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to talk in front of the class, but he'll do it because he ain't got nothing to lose. Like, Dana White had nothing to lose. He was a boxing nigga. And then, look, like, you get somebody, listen, fucking Vince McMahon fucking called John Cena the nigga on the fucking TV. Yeah, you see that? You should see that in your face too, right? I bet you more people see John Cena say that to John Cena than what Dana White did. Like, all them niggas is the same blood. It's just that Vince McMahon just has liability tied to him. Nobody's suing Dana White.
He has like on top, like Dana White's fucked up for the slapping shit. And Dana White is definitely. and like, let's break it down. Dana White, we're by no means defending Dana White. Dana White's a piece of shit. But Vince McMahon is also well documented. And like, I think on top of the multiple scandals that came out in the last couple of years about everything that he did, I think this keeps it on there, and they're like kind of looking like they were just waiting for him to cross over the threshold so they could get, after they bought the company, so they could start whooping his ass. So yeah, man, it's they putting him through the ringer over there.
Endeavor ain't no different than any other billion-dollar company. You know what I mean? Like Dana White, like it's easy to sweep Dana White's bullshit. We talking about all that shit. I don't give a fuck because it is right. I'm more of a yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll sweep all that shit. Like, listen, Dana White's getting his fucking crow, you know what I'm saying, by Francis Ngannou fucking in your face because you didn't believe in me. But like it's easy to sweep in a fucking like a video that you be like, oh well, and then she could be like, well, he didn't even do anything. To multiple lawsuits. Like, listen, I got to send my lawyers out here and do shit.
Yeah, that's the thing about Endeavor. That's the thing, like you said, that's the thing about Endeavor, a big company. Like, if they can like look at it, they can be like, well, they kind of like sweep it under the rug or whatever. But I think they did. What did they do to Dana White when they punished him?
They didn't do nothing, blood. Like none of them niggas. Like, listen, if you got $1 billion, you're not gonna get punished, blood. They're gonna be like, yo, like you only get published, you only getting punished. I mean, in the court of public opinion. And then when you got $1 billion or even 900 or like $100 million, like the court of public opinion don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just like your shoes getting untied. Like I can just tie that back up. Here's another fight, yo.
That's
Here's
the
another
thinking.
fight.
That's the thinking of billion. That's thinking of a lot of like $1 billion sports corporations. Like Dana. Like shout out to Daryl. Dana got away scot free. Yeah, like I remember there was like some outrage, and then you have like UFC followers who be like on Dana White's nuts. They'd be like, "Hey man, she really was the one who put her hands on it first." So I'm like, bro, hey man.
We're not getting to the point where you said there's no. First off, there's no reason that you ever should put your hands on a woman. Period. You know what I'm saying? Use your fucking words. They teach you that when you're in fucking kindergarten. Second off, nigga, like Dana White's pieces, like all them niggas is pieces of shit, dog. Dana White was the lowest of the totem pole. Like this is different when it's the figurehead of the biggest. Like they're the A side of this deal. Like Vince McMahon is the ace. Like Dana White wasn't the fucking A side of this fucking Endeavor deal with this merger, nigga. Like nobody, UFC's been on ESPN for fucking a decade before ESPN even started even mentioning or having WWE people on there. I remember watching that shit on ESPN. I mean on Fox when fucking the niggas got knocked out and shit. Like niggas been over there. Like
yeah.
Nobody really is thinking about Dana White, but Vince McMahon, you've been around, like you're a figurehead. You move this shit, like you are the A side of this shit, and you're not even supposed to be here in the begin with. And
yeah,
like we have a bunch of niggas that's about the bottom line more than you, and they have more money than you. What are you gonna say?